Baby, can't you feel I'm lost, yeah, and I gotta keep this warm, yeah. This is a local handicapped kids choir.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Lava Land, there's a one-man band, ain't no two, there's food for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rare, we'll just fly. Starry-eyed, once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for being here. We're going to be talking about allergies and sensitivities to foods this evening. We need a volunteer. Jenny, I asked you if you would volunteer. I don't think you've seen it in the chat yet. We are going to be recording and providing some information for you. We'll have this up on our site probably by tomorrow, along with a couple of articles that you will need to learn how to do this. We want to teach, we want to share with you how you can tell what you're allergic to. Today, I got 2 different emails from 2 different companies talking about sensitivities and allergies. So it really is on a lot of people's minds. A sensitivity, you just have a little bit of a reaction For instance, bananas. I cannot eat a ripe banana. It makes my mouth numb, my lips numb. Is that a sensitive reaction, or is it a reaction that's actually an allergy? If it made it so I couldn't swallow and I couldn't breathe, that would be a really serious reaction. But it just makes my lips a little numb. We traced it back through my voice, and it's the gas that they put on the bananas to make them ripen in the grocery store. And when the banana gets really ripe, most of that gas goes into the banana and out of the peel. When it's still in the peel, that's when the peel is really hard. I don't know if that's the right word, thick. When the peel is thick, the gas is still in the peel and not in the actual food. So thank everyone for being here. We do have a chat up if there are questions, and I will try to keep up with everything. We're going to go pretty fast. Hopefully we'll have time at the end for someone who is a volunteer. So if there's someone who would like to volunteer and see where their allergies come from, just stick that in the chat and I'll try to pay attention. I'm from the Institute of Bioacoustic Biology and Sound Health. My name is Sharry Edwards. I used to say, if you ever get near, stop in. But what is going on with the governor right now and COVID is that we can't have visitors. So we appreciate the thought and we'll wave to you from the window. What we do here at the center is put a microphone in front of your face and we look at the frequencies in your voice, because we know that the body, through the frequencies of the brain, have the ability to self-diagnose and to reorganize according to that information. Now, this happens all the time, but people don't show it publicly. You get a cut and the calcium rushes to the site and acts as the foreman and says, I need this, this, and this to repair this. And the body does it all on their own. It takes a 30-second vocal print. We started this in the early 80s, and we were doing 2 and 3 hours of vocal prints and vocal analysis, and we finally were able to cut it down to just 30 seconds. We do have this available for you online, free, at soundhealthportal.com. We try to keep several things up there at a time. I think PTSD might be up, BioDiet might be up there now. We're going to try to get hives up because we want to provide tools and solutions to support your self-health. We think there's going to be more and more censoring go on, and if people can become predictive about their own health, we can see what's really going on, and maybe you can fix it with food or exercise or going to the chiropractor. But to be able to know what's coming down the pike is a big plus for a lot of people. We know that bioacoustically speaking, persons with similar wellness issues produce similar, if not identical, vocal anomalies. We just did something for the Army. They are sticking people in a closed room and gassing them and not allowing them to have gas masks. And some of them, it's hurting their lungs. So we figured out the frequency that could help the body repair the lungs and help the body stop coughing. So that's the kind of thing that we run all the time. We are not medical. We are not musical. We are what we're calling mathical. And mathical means mathematically thinking about something. And there are frequencies in your brain that we can measure mathematically, and from there tell a lot about you. This is a novel way to look at math as medicine, because we know now, after 30 years, that the state of your health can be found in the sound of your voice. And we would like to share that with people, only because I'm lazy and don't want to do all the work myself. I would like to see bioacoustic centers set up in every communities. And for instance, right now, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you this. We have the frequencies for COVID, and we can back off the symptoms. Now, we haven't been able to do a lot of work with it, probably less than 50 people, but it does take away some of the symptoms. And so that's the kind of project. We think that's really important. Trump said, leave no stone unturned. And I think we are a stone unturned, and this should be brought out to the public, but we can make no claims. We are sponsored this evening by the Sound Health Portal, and we're going to be talking about this little nano voice that you can use, or you can purchase that software from us. Just give us a call or look at Sound Health options and see how you can download it. There's several versions. Perfect Mate that we're going to be doing next week or so, right before Valentine's Day. Putting a committee together, seeing who you're compatible with, all that is available through taking a vocal pattern, dividing it into its mathematical musical notes, and it'll give you a printout of what's going on, whether you want to look at a partner, a new job, or whatever else is going on. So we're going to show you how to use that this evening. We think bioacoustics is the beginning of a new way of looking at the body. Now, James Gates says, and he's a physicist, he and his students said they found within the DNA of plants some kind of supersymmetry that ends up being computer code. And he said the computer code they found in plants is the computer code that's being used to fix computer language. And so if we are indeed bioacoustic robots, because we can give you a frequency and make your pain go away, are we like a car that you can go to the garage and hook into a little electric thing and they'll say, oh, it's your carburetor? It's coming to the point where we're able to do that through your voice, plugging you into a system that we have looked at for years. And we want to share this with the public, with the people, so that it can't be taken and hidden or buried. This belongs to the people, and we want to share it. We're going to be using a little program called the Nano Voice, and that is free with our classes, with our free classes that you can download this. We started with this in the late 90s, so it's been around a while, and Google has just filed a patent on it. So we're going to see what we can do about that. We use the Nano Voice, which is notes, musical notes, and we also use frequencies of the notes, like A is 440. And we have a series of classes from the guest level on up to the very professional one. And this is part of our catalog that you can pull down from our site. And in that, it has a lot of different tutorials that you can use 24/7 to learn to do this on your own, or you can jump on one of our classes and learn to do it. We want to share it. And we have about 300 different softwares. The one that we're going to do this evening is allergies. What is causing your allergies and what to do about it. So we don't want allergies just to cover up or take medicines or whatever. We want you to find the root cause of it and see what's going on. And with our portal, the Sound Health Portal, you can do a weekly check-in to check for allergies and sensitivities and nutritional needs and what is really coming up with the body. We know that the body is very redundant. And if you have a muscle that's beginning to ache or get weak, in my case, it's my thumb. I got stung by a bee. So my thumb became weak and I couldn't open a jar. But it is the same frequency as zinc. So I could give myself the frequency of zinc and the thumb became strong again. We want you to be able to do that same kind of thing. And we have muscle and nutrition flyers. I'm writing myself a note to put that up with the recording so you guys can see them. So where does allergies come from? Different places. And when you take our class on allergies, we give you the software of the Abacus. Well, there's a choice of about 300 to choose from. So not only allergies, but leaky gut goes with that, hives go with it. So you can pick and choose because they're all listed on our Sound Health Options website. People have allergies and sensitivities from many different aspects, from your environment to your digestion to your inflammation, Krebs cycle, stress. Leaky gut is one that's causing a lot of allergies. The stuff leaks through the gut, and then your body thinks it's some foreign invader, and it starts to build up a resistance. And that's where the allergies and sensitivities come in. Glyphosate is a bigger one. I just read an article and I checked it out mathematically, and it is true. Glyphosate frequencies interfere with hormones, and they're finding glyphosate Roundup in a lot of even canned foods because the companies are not only spraying the glyphosate for weeds, but when they go to harvest the crop, they're spraying all the green stuff. So the beans or whatever they're picking, they're getting the glyphosate in it also. And it's causing a lot of youngsters to be very confused biochemically about their gender. So we need to be careful about that. And we have frequencies that will antidote those kinds of poisons. Allergies versus sensitivities. So if IgE shows up in your chart, that's a sort of an immediate response. And IgG's response is about 4 hours. And IgE is usually a lighter kind of reaction, although IgE, like shellfish, it can cause you not to be able to breathe. And so we have some frequencies that help move people through this. And also, when you're looking at this, you can look at your liver and your enzymes. We have a very large database called fatty liver that you can look at. Are the enzymes being produced that help digest these foods? And if you can't digest things completely, then it becomes an allergy because you have all this leftover gunk everywhere, especially people that have A positive blood. They seem to not have enough digestive enzymes to help through this leaky gut stuff and even foods that you're eating a lot of. So where do allergy symptoms manifest? Well, through your nose, and that's through breathing things. Even radiation, we're seeing a lot of that is causing problems. Things in the air, even airplanes dropping stuff out and causing allergies. Stuff up your nose, clog up your nose. When I eat wheat, my nose gets very wide. So I think my gut's getting wide and swelling up also as a reaction to the wheat. You'll see several pictures of me where I have a skinny nose. And I didn't notice that till just recently. But definitely eating wheat, even though I'm not breathing it in, I may be, I guess, is causing my nose wet epithelial tissues to swell up. So allergic rhinitis. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Grapefruit seed extract now has a nasal spray, antihistamines, eucalyptus oils. There's a lot of things that can help reduce that swelling. So one of the things, allergy-related conditions, asthma, chronic lung, we're seeing a lot of COPD causing coughing and wheezing. COVID is causing a lot of that. And it's a reaction to your mast cells, M-A-S-T cells. And you'll see there a link. I'll try to put this in the chat for people so you can go get more information, because I'm just skimming the surface here. So let me stick that in chat, and we'll also put it with the recording of this. So what are mast cells? They're what cause the reaction to your body's. It's like an army out there, and your body says, we're not doing this, and the mast cells run in and they act as the army to put up any kind of resistance to red eyes, conjunctivitis. Now, I'm not talking about pink eye, that's usually a bacterial kind of inflammation. The asthma in the lungs, and we're finding that with COVID, we have frequencies that can help take care of that lung congestion. That's on our site, soundhealthoptions.com, and you can download it. Dermatitis is another one, and that usually deals with histamines. So itchy red skin, hives, and really serious things like anaphylactic shock where you can't breathe. And we even have a frequency for that. We have one story about a woman who was poisoned with 409 cleaner. She was breathing it and she could not breathe. And she was in the house next door. They were an hour. We live up in the corner of the county. No, she was an hour from an ambulance. We didn't know what to do, so we just put the frequencies on to bring her out of it, and sure enough, it worked. We kind of found this accidentally. Then we used it with bee sting and nut allergies. I think somewhere they ought to think about having this little tone box in emergency squads, and because we have one that deals with epinephrine, and right now they're having to pay hundreds of dollars every 3 months or so to get these epinephrine shots, and the schools are required to keep it. If we could do a project on the norepinephrine and do the frequencies, then it would help, and they wouldn't have to rebuy it every 3 months or so. So something we're looking forward to being able to do. The mast cells, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Our body needs them, but they don't need too many of them. They are the regulators of the immune system. They come from the bone marrow and they go into all tissues throughout your body. And they are little storage sacks of biologically active molecules called mediators. And they help stop any kind of invasion coming in. So they release histamine, and there's a histamine transferase that if you get too much of it or can't use it, it starts to come out the skin. We had a guy came in, had these sores all over him, and they itched even in his hair. And he just had too much of this particular kind of histamine. We made him a formula to back it off, and sure enough, he quit itching within the hour. So we need some things to cause us to itch, like if we get poison ivy, we need to be notified by our body some way that we've gotten into poison ivy. So a lot of things going on, and I'm, like I said, skimming the surface, and I'm going to take this link and put it in the chat for you. There it is. So back to mast cells. They protect the body in wound healing, connective tissue in your stomach and your intestines. It's your immune defense system. And we have a database just called Immune, and we have one called Hives. And in the Hive one is where all of the mast cell information comes from. And this is a lot of your reactions that your body has, like itching and hives and lumps, and sometimes people eat sugar and they get all these little lumps on their stomach because this sugar is causing an alarm and sending out these histamines. There can be bad reactions to histamines, triggers, emotional, heat, cold, stress, perfumes. I have a big reaction to perfumes. I just can't breathe it. It reacts in my bronchial tubes, and I have to use the epinephrine sounds. So good, the bad, and the ugly of what is going on. If your body produces too many mast cells, you have a reaction. If it doesn't produce enough, you have a reaction. So you need to look at your vocal print, and we'll show you how to do that, and keep everything balanced, like balanced colors in a room, balanced sounds in a song. You need balanced mast cells to keep your immune system working optimally, not over or under use. Some of the reactions: clog up your nose, destabilize your cells, prevent the release of the histamine so your body can't react. You get itches. I'm trying to think of other things. Diarrhea kind of reactions. These are autoimmune reactions, but you can get autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis, arthritis, and even reactions like gout is part of your immune system. You don't have enough enzymes to break down proteins, and that's where the A blood type comes in. They have a lot more trouble with gout than O blood that can break down meats and things that the body might get too much of it, nuts. Even drugs can cause this kind of reaction, but we can look at your voice and see what kind of drugs are going to cause this kind of reaction. And I didn't know this, but some of the reactions can be reproductive disorders like endometriosis, which is a C sharp. It's an inflammation of inside the body, the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, some pieces that are supposed to be part of the body begins to build in the cavity of the lower stomach and can cause inflammation and endometriosis. So there's a lot of things they just don't know yet what all these mast cells are doing. But they're doing a great job of being able to identify what causes it, your reactions, when we use the Nano Voice database, and it'll give you information. And I was going to do a little demonstration with chocolate, and the lady hasn't shown up yet, but we have information about it anyway. You can see if chocolate is actually good for you, or eggs, or whatever you're eating. Don't do something like chili because they have a lot of stuff in it. But one at a time, things like an orange, a banana, you can go ahead and test. Chocolate has a lot of stuff in it, but most of the time, if you're craving chocolate, it's magnesium that you're really wanting. If it's tomatoes, it's usually vitamin D. In my case, it's vitamin D. And here's one, soda pop. Some people crave soda pop. Soda pop dumps something called AMPK into your system, and it helps regulate insulin. So people are feeling guilty about wanting soda pop, and a lot of people want it after they eat something greasy because it cleans your tongue. And so a lot of things to know, and I only have a little bit of time to be able to tell you any of it. Mast cells gather around wounds, causes histamine reactions. Your body needs these mast cells to a point, and you can keep them at bay by identifying what's causing them to rear up and say, enough's enough. This is your reaction to tomatoes. I'm telling you now and giving you a rash. Quit eating tomatoes. It's causing us stress. It's a way the body tells you what you should or should not be eating or breathing, or even people that you can be around. So we have 12 different documentaries of what is going on about this. We have one for you free on our site. It's professionally done. And we also have all these mathematical codes in a online public workstation, where we look at all the mathematical codes. I don't know that we'll have time to do it this evening, but it ends up looking like this. And there is a bio bundle. It's just for allergies. And in this case, you can see the allergy is 2.1. Pre-vaccination risk factors, that can cause allergies, 1.2. Hearing, 9. So sometimes people, their ears will swell up because of an allergy. Digestion basics, and saying goodbyes to allergies. So this person does have allergies, but it's coming from seizure perspectives. We'd go back and look at some of the autism digestion, and the computer program will show you this. Even our guest level has this available for you. You can go deeper. This is the autism spectrum that we're looking at, and it says here that leaky gut is causing the problem. 2.2 leaky gut. So we can click on this and we can go identify what these little orange dots are, and we can tell what kind of reaction you're having to a leaky gut. We're going to come out this year with a program, Guardians of the People. We want to invite you to that. We will provide all kinds of materials and videos and textbooks. So if you would like to join that, please let us know. We hope to give you a computer program, a new one, every month as we meet. BioAcoustic Basics is the textbook that we have available for you now. That is free with our guest level course. And the guest level course is online. It's available 24/7, and it covers the nano voice, the time domain, the notes, also covers the frequency domain. So you can learn to do this from a book on your own with tutorials. It's there 24/7 and it's free. And we also have videos that will show you what kind of outcomes. This is a video about the doctors who work with us and some of the clients that we have been able to help. We give you the frequencies that your body needs to heal itself, the math. See your brain as a central processing unit, and it has all of these frequencies that it feeds the body. So you can crook your finger or smack your lips or whatever. And we have just found a way to tap into that. And this film talks about it. It's free on our site, Sound Health Options. Math as medicine. Miracles of non-medicine. We think that in the near future, bioacoustically trained providers can help you create the perfect environment for health and wellness just by monitoring your voice every day and seeing what nutrients you need, what you need to stay away from, what not to eat, like with the allergies. So we think that this is the beginning. We've been doing this since 91. That's when we, oh no, it's 82. We published our first papers in 82, but there are people following us. 5 companies now have filed patents on what they think we are doing, but they're doing it in a slightly different way. We did a project for the Army that MIT has the information for, and other companies have come in and want us to do projects with them. We've done that, but we filed all of this in a way to keep it free to the public. Don't pay for any of this. If you see it online, it's free for you to learn and to take to your community. We have a database and you can tap into that and see what's going on with your voice. We've been publishing in Nexus magazine. I think this is the 3rd time we published articles about the blood and toxins in the blood. We published one a year ago, August, about 5G. We published about coronavirus. This one is about GMOs and how GMOs and glyphosate can cause a health care crisis. We try to keep you up on the information by providing classes every week, extra classes for people. So we now want to go to the Sound Health portal. Let me go online and find that. Oh, it appeared over here on this other monitor. So just Sound Health portal, and here's the Nano Voice, and it works very simply. Check out Nano Voice, and I'm going to click, and it'll say start. So I'm ready, yes, and it will start taking my vocal print and counting all of the notes and giving me access to that information. Mine's kind of level right now. Usually B comes up high, and B is nerves and the little tiny vessels, like from varicose veins, or maybe high blood pressure sometimes. This will stop counting when it gets to 500, and then it will give us a printout, a very short printout, 2 or 3 paragraphs. The more professional version of this gives you 3 or 4 pages of information, not only the actual count, but the distribution of, you have this much of this one, what is the balance? And the balance in the voice is really what you need. The more balanced your voice is, the more healthy you seem to be. And the notes that are not there are just as important as the notes that are there. You can see D sharp here is very little, and so is D and D sharp. D is the liver, and D sharp is the process of the liver. And I do have some stress. I have a fatty liver and insulin resistance. But you see there's a lot of energy here in that note of B, and it's coming up on 500, and you'll see it'll stop when we get there. Well, it's supposed to stop when we get there. Okay, now I'm asking for a report. What does all that mean? Well, you go quietly about improving whatever comes into your view. Yes, to the detriment of people who work for me, because they're all the time having to do things over because we find a better way. Now, you can't print this, but you can grab it and control copy, and then open a Word document, and you can lay it down on that document, and it gives you information. You work well with others. You have the ability to use words creatively. You have the ability to inspire people. You know how you want things to look, but sometimes doesn't have the energy or the time to make it so. So this gives you a lot of information about what is or is not correct. There's a lot of B notes, and that's Pisces energy. D notes are Gemini energy. So you can even look at this in terms of people and who you could be with, because there's an astrology chart. I'll put that starter chart up so you can look at your notes in terms of the astrological information of the people around you. Okay, I'm going to move this back off because I have other things I want to share. Maybe I'll move this. So this is our sponsor, and there's a lot of information here that you can leave your voice. You can have your voice done. We can do things for you on and on. We can do a complete analysis for you. Most of the analyses we get have to go through our website, soundhealthoptions.com, and there is a application there. Most of what we get are people who the normal medical people can't figure out what's going on. There's lots of stories about this. So if you're going to go online and look at this, ask them to run your immune system, ask them to run allergies, hives. I don't know if we have one for glyphosate, but that would be a good one. And I think glyphosate's in the toxin one. So if you have anything like rhinitis or asthma or COPD or itching, this is a time to go after it and find out what is the root cause of what is going on. This is the actual computer program that you can purchase and use in class. Let me back up on 12 notes, C, C sharp, D, and so forth, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And as you speak, it fills up the notes. Now this is somebody, D sharp is too high and A is too low. D sharp is digestive enzymes, liver, self-approval, and A is about management and spirituality. After we gave this guy the note of A, it didn't work. We gave him too much of what he already had, which is a right brain reaction, and we got this balance all the way across. And how we did it, the A did not work. We gave him too much of the D sharp that he already has. So there's a big difference in left and right brainedness when it comes to doing color and sound therapy. And if you don't pay attention to that, you're going to get into trouble. So in this case, this is the wheel of all the notes. He had too much D sharp and not enough A. So we know the antidotes mathematically for all of these, and we're able to share that with people so they can create formulations of how to antidote a song. Mostly it's just the square root of 2. This is the way they make canceling headsets. They just multiply the offending sound by the square root of 2 and you can get the antidote. And this starter wheel correlation chart, I will ask them to leave it for you so you can download it. And each of the notes mean a certain thing. And this is generalizations, and there's an emotional and a physiological thing that we've just put together over the years. And you should have like 2 of each. If you have a 4 of something, then that's where you should concentrate your energy. Everything should be 2s to make sure it's all balanced. So what we have you do is read something from the Velveteen Rabbit, and I'll download that to you, the rabbit passage we call it. So you have people come into wherever you're testing something. Let's say we're testing chocolate, and you have them read this, "What's real," said the rabbit one day, blah, 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 without ever having any chocolate whatsoever. And you keep track of what happens. This is the information that comes in as notes as they're reading this. The red is future, blue is emotions, yellow is thinking, and this little teeny bit of green here, that's accomplish or do. So your vocal print will look like this. So we had somebody read this pre-chocolate, and you can see they had lots of A sharp and lots of B. Then we had them eat chocolate, and since chocolate is sugary, we waited about 10 minutes, and we had them eat like 4 or 5 squares of chocolate. And since it's sugar, it will take about 10 minutes. If it's something like protein, you need to wait about 20 minutes, or a medication that you're testing, it needs about 20 minutes. So we had them read the same passage again. So the variable is the chocolate. And this is what happened afterwards. There was a big difference. Here's the 2 together. That the A sharp came up very sharply. F and F sharp and G. So let's look at what this might mean. Whoops, I need the chocolate to come up. Let me grab that. Well, this is not cooperating. Here is some of the things that it's in chocolate. Theobromine, which is an F sharp, and it's opposite of C in the wheel. Phenylethylamine, and this is what puts people in the mood. That's why take your girlfriend chocolate, it's phenylethylamine. Caffeine, epicatin, that's the same thing in tea. Gallic acid, magnesium, phenolic acid, oxalate, and glucose, and this is what each of them does. So let's see. A sharp came way up. What is A sharp? We don't have anything that's here that's A sharp. Well, here's COX-2 enzyme associated with inflammation is an A sharp. So they say for inflammation of your joints, eat very dark chocolate, at least 72%. So this indicates that COX-2 initiation was an issue, and this chocolate would be good for this person because it would help with joints. The other thing that changed was E and F. Now we have videos on Vimeo.com that will take you through an hour of this. And you'll get to see more than what I'm just skimming over right now. So the E, no E here. F, there's F, gallic acid, oxalates, that's F sharp, phenylethylamine, there's the F. So you can see what the difference is, and that's the real kicker. What did this chocolate do to my voice? Did it scatter it? Did it make it worse? Well, in this case, pre-chocolate, she had a lot of right brain. Right brain is F sharp to B, and that sort of dampened down a little bit. D sharp, more about the liver, came up. So you can see the reaction of what is going on with each of these pieces. You want something that will make your voice balance out, not scatter. And there's a lot of things missing here that it scattered it. Took down the F, took down the E, took down the C sharp. That's almost non-existent, but it helped with the inflammation for the COX-2 enzyme. I think I have that in the next slide for all of you. If you want to just take a picture, this will come up in a minute, and you'll get to see it when you do a recording anyway. So what does all this mean? Well, we know that each of these colors means something. Looking to the future, how this will look to other people, an Archie Bunker kind of type is red. Yellow is Alan Alda, always thinking. Green is money and do, and the blue is emotions. So you can see maybe the chocolate caused more emotions. Let's see. No, just a little bit of emotions here. It caused more green here, more dew, and green is physical. But most of all, it changed this A sharp, so there must be inflammation someplace. The more inflammation someone has, the darker they will want their chocolate to be. 90% is really bitter. 72 is tolerable. So you can go watch more videos about this. This is another explanation of what all of these different colors mean. And this is reading review. Read the passage, the rabbit passage. Take a vocal print first, then read the passage. I think I have all of this written out for people. Here's all the instructions, and I'll put these up with the recording. How to use this to check on chocolate, but you could check on almost anything and see what's happening. In this case, you can see a strong emotional reaction at A sharp, where on the other one we had a strong mental reaction to your inflammation. So I'll make sure you get a copy of this also. But your variable is whatever you're testing, your tomatoes, your chocolate, carrot, whatever it is. Read it first, then ingest whatever this is, or hug the person you think might not be good for you. There's other ways to do that too with just frequencies that we can teach you. But then ingest whatever's going on and take the print again. Here you can do a screen grab of all the notes that are involved in what is contained in chocolate. Caffeine is very near magnesium, so that's why caffeine gives you a little boost. It kicks in that frequency for magnesium. Glucose usually comes up for a lot of people because there's sugar in just normal milk chocolate. So the F sharp and C will become unbalanced. So if we look at all of these notes as they're balanced, D has its balance in D and G sharp. That's not balanced. There's nothing balanced here. E and A sharp are 6 notes away. That's the balancer. So that's not working. F sharp and C, 35 F sharp, 42 is normal, no C, unbalanced. So it unbalances those notes, the F sharp and C. I know I'm going really, really fast with this. I will put up this particular slide for you to download so you can start working with this. We know that the brain works on mathematical principles of frequency that can be looked at as math. Vocal codes are in your language, and it's also math, and that's what we're testing. The frequencies that you're speaking, and that tells us a bit about you because the vocal cords are in the recurrent laryngeal nerve in the parasympathetic nerve system. And as your body tries to balance you, it vibrates the vocal cords. I could write a book on that, so I'm just skimming the surface of what's going on, where these cranial nerves come from, and the vocal pathways to the brain. There's a passage in the Bible, I think it's Luke 6:45, that says you cannot hide your heart. It'll come out in your voice. Your voice will express what's truly in your heart. And so we also use this as a lie detector test for what is going on. There are mathematical codes in the brain, and they come out as language and also as a sound coming out of your ear. The research being done by us is frequency our new medicine or an ancient mystery revealed? And that article I'll put up for you. I think the ancients knew a lot more about this than we do, and they could tell things by your voice. And we've done Pelosi and Trump and Biden and Schumer and all that, and it's all on our site. We just did the guy who runs Robinhood, and that was a real surprise. So we hope to be able to put all of this in your hands to help you survive this pandemic that we predicted years ago, the flu, and we've put out frequencies every season for the flu. We also know we can do stem cells and restoration and help people regrow body parts, but it's not us doing it. It's the math, the frequencies that we give back to you so you can look at what's going on. I wanted to do a little bit on the portal to show you how to do that there as well. So one of the things that we can do in going to the portal, let me log in, and this is free for 2 weeks, so you can learn to use it. It's called the guest level, and you do a vocal print. Well, and we give you that computer program, or you can download it online to take a vocal print. I'll show you how to do that. Let's do something. I'll just use mine. So if we go to evaluations, I think I used mine already. And we can say, I want to look at a bio bundle for this. Easy to do. I need a voice file. Bio bundles. So we can say, I want to look at hives. There's no hives. I want to look at allergies. And it'll go to allergies for that print and tell me why I might have allergies. Oh, seizure perspective. So we could go to autism even and look at why I might have autism or heart disease. ISM. So it'll show you where all of this is coming from, where the root cause is. 0.420 dyslexia, 2.3 GAD, that is wheat sensitivity and glutathione usage. 1.39, 2.2 leaky gut, that's the highest yet. Leaky gut, so we can go leaky gut. Why are we having leaky gut? Lactoperoxidase, I don't have the slightest idea what that is, but we have a built-in reference that you can look at. But this is very, very simple to do and look at allergies or anything that you would like to look at. And it also gives you 8 different categories. Energy, is your energy being disturbed long term? A lot of green there. Is it predictive? Is it something coming? And the middle means low, and around the edges, that's high. Is it long term? No, because there's not enough there. Current, predictive. Let's look at predictive. This is low. It's supposed to show up what it is. It's not at the moment, so we'll keep looking here. Metabolic profile. What's the worst issue? Adiponectin. Adiponectin is a protein that regulates your fat content of the body. And we can go looking at adiponectin. Nothing else there. So adiponectin precursor, that's low. So that's a problem why I'm gaining weight. We can also look at all of these. It's a lot. Nutrition, toxicity, allergies, even summaries. What is the worst summary here? Manic depression. I didn't know I had manic depression. I don't feel depressed. 2 out of 17 in our database. So we can go look for that manic depression. Here it is. What's causing it? Lithium is low. I'm not even sure where you get lithium. And pregnenolone is high, and that is a hormone that I have been running on myself because I've been having some issues, some hormonal issues. So I'm running it on a tone box, and it's ended up too high. I gave myself too much. Does too much pregnenolone cause you to be manic depressive? We should be able to click on this, and it takes us to look it up. It's not doing it. But you can look at a lot of things here and see what really is the issue. Now you're not getting frequencies, but you're getting what the actual correlate is. So 2 of adiponectin, we can go look at adiponectin and see what's going on. Dopamine, arthritis, 2.2 arthritis. Wow, let's 4.4 Lewy proteins. Lewy proteins like Alzheimer's, but it's from environment. And so there's something that's way too high. This is the bad proteins in the body. So I need to go do something to turn those around. And we have the antidotes to that. But we were looking at adiponectin. Let me just find it. ADI, adiponectin, 11 times. right there, 2 of 33. So this is my issue with weight and not being able to lose weight. BioBody is available for you free as an evaluation. Those are green, so lithium again, zinc gluconate, thyroid calcitonin. So you can get a lot of information from here. And the best thing about all of this is while you are doing these evaluations, you can go up to evaluations and run a report, an immediate report on everything that you chose. You can choose like 10 things at a time. Here, swallow, taste, Parkinson's, things have been chosen. You can create a report and it gives you a ranking of what this person should do first. Glucosamine may suppress inflammation. So inflammation shows up in this chart. Second page. Prednisone, this is an ear issue. Transverse abdominis, the front of the stomach, also helps hold the back in together. So you can see what all of these are in a ranking order, and you can see the ones here. You can do this evaluation very quickly. We record these every Thursday. They're on our site. You can open a BioAcoustic Center and take a 30-second sample, run it through here, and give people their reports on about 300 different things. They give you the software to start. They give you nutrition and muscles to start, and a couple of other computer programs. I want to invite you to join our guest class or our 2-day class for professionals. It's up 24/7. Let me know if you have any issues with this and we'll see if we can get you connected. soundhealthportal.com and sign up for the guest level. And we'll be on our way to putting a BioAcoustic Center in every community. Okay, our time is up. Boy, that went fast. Jenny found a microphone. I asked her to be a volunteer and she didn't have a microphone. Do you want to stay for a few minutes over and we'll show you how this works? So Audacity is one of the programs that's free and we have you download. Can you open your mic, Jenny, and we'll just show what this is about? Can you open your mic? Maybe I need to move you. I will move you to presenter. Can you open your mic, because I can't seem to move you over to send chat, send email. It's not letting me move you anywhere. Well, there are plenty of these already on our site that you can watch. Jenny, I'm sorry, I just couldn't open it for you. But essentially, if we get this open, she would just talk and blah, 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 whatever, and would go on for 30 seconds and then stop it. Exit it as an audio. And then from there, cancel, come to the clients and say new. You fill out, and this takes the longest of anything, that you have to fill out XYZ and mail and where they are in Ohio and And then at the bottom is a bunch of stuff to fill out. That takes more time than anything else. You save and continue. You bring in that new voice file that I don't even know if we saved or not. Here's Tony Online. Let's just look at that one. You bring it in, save and continue, and then you can go looking at anything that you want. The bio bundles, we can look at allergies. It's that simple. Takes you only a few minutes, and in Tony's case, we're looking at a hearing issue and also seizure perspective. So we have 4 things we can look at here. Leucine-rich glioma inactivated. I don't know what these are. I'd have to look them up. GABA is too high. And contactin associated protein. I would have to look all of those up, and we do have all of that built into the program where you can look at any of these things, or you can always go online and look at it. And I'm certainly happy you are here. I hope you join us in class. We have a big 5-day class coming up next week for professionals. So let us know, and if you have any questions, you can write to me just at Gmail, my name at Gmail. And the next time we get together, we're going to do the biology of love and to look at some of the hormones that people have or don't have that dictate what kind of physical relationships and reactions they have. So I hope you can join us for that. Certainly thank you for this. Hope you go back to look at the tutorials and learn more about this. My hope for the world is that everybody has access to these tools and solutions so that you can have dominion over your own body, who you are, and nobody can take that away from you. So thank you for being here. If anybody wants to save the chat, go up to File and just say Save Your Chat Log. And we'll see you next time.